here I am, back on the floor, 2025 Heritage Classic. What am I doing? So the last video you might have seen, I went and added these engine guards, crash guards, whatever you want to call them, to my Heritage Classic. The reason I did that, not because I was worried about crashing or anything like that, was really just options. First option, I like the idea of soft lowers in the winter. I ride in the winter. This bike does not have the same leg protection my Pan America had. So be able to put some soft lowers on here. Haven't started shopping for those. This is a Hogwarts bar. I know they make soft lowers, but there's a couple other companies I might look into. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. If you have any comments, put them down in below about soft lowers for Softails and Hogwarts bars. Are these all the same size? Is this the same size as a Street Glide or a Road Glide? I have no idea. So let me know. Today I am going to install some highway pegs. What happened with the old bike, the Pan America, I bought a couple different highway pegs. I wasn't looking to spend a lot of money because at the time I was not sure if I would use those. I ended up using those a lot. Of course, I did a lot of highway miles with the Pan America, so that just makes sense. In my journey to find highway pegs, I bought a couple different kinds. That was a fail. Couple reasons. This bolt, to get it tight enough, you had to screw it into this guy so far. When you screwed it in so far, it actually stopped this action from working. So otherwise it would have been loose, it wouldn't have worked. Maybe I could have got a shorter bolt, cut it. Got kind of aggravated because it was plastic. These pieces are plastic, but just a little bit of the bolt touched my brand new Hogwarts highway engine guards and messed it up. So that's going back in the box. Maybe someday I'll have a generic reason to use those foot pegs. Trying something else now. Last year sometimes a company sent me a handlebar bag to review. I couldn't really review it because I didn't have handlebars at the time and it worked. But I used it as a gear bag. I strapped it to the back of my Pan America. So did a little bit of shopping online. And I went to Ben Laurie. Is that backwards for you? Looks backwards for me, but that could just be me. Price-wise, they were about $80 for a set of highway pegs. It might have been like $60. Maybe I'm thinking, there are so many options out there. I have no idea how you guys decide without spending so much money on what works and what doesn't. So I bought these Ben Laurie ones. I'm going to try them out, see how it works. Hopefully placement is good enough to cover up those scratches that I made with the last one. All different kind of options. This is how I got it from Amazon, just in the little box. Nothing extra. Let's look inside. Got some directions. Let's see how it's packed. Okay, that's pretty good. One set. Ooh, they're pretty hefty. Two set already pre-assembled. And that is it. Nothing else in there. It looks pretty easy. I was like, look at the directions. You guys see? Whoa, those are simple. Let's look at them from this side. All right, looks pretty simple. Now I'm just going to slide this right there. I think my location is preordained by my scratch. So just hope that works out. Good. The bolts that came with it are the same size. When adjusting these for your angle, I'm going to pull it out a little bit, and it has like little locks on the inside, so you can't go wrong, hopefully, in theory. Okay, so it's on. This piece isn't going anywhere that mounts on. I did put a little bit of blue Loctite in there just because it's a very nice finish. I'll take a picture of what it looks like from this angle. Put it in there. The only wiggle room is this guy. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-ding. So that's good. The reason I did Loctite this, the height is about halfway through. I think from the top to here, it's like 6 3/4 of an inch. I don't see it going much lower. My footboard's right here, or higher. It's not as svelte when it's folded up, so that's okay. If I need to adjust this, instead of worrying about taking this off, it just has one of these little retainer clips. You pop this out, and it looks like this comes right off. Could probably replace that with something else. I'm going to do the other side, and we'll see how it looks. All right, so it has been a few hundred miles since I have been rocking these. Bam, those Bin Lari highway pegs. Maybe you can see them right there. If not, I'll slip in another picture. I gotta say, it took a few hundred miles to find out the right spot where you want your legs. I immediately thought I knew what the geometry was based on my old bike, but that was a different style. I sat a little bit different. So this is where I seem to like it here. I can kind of rest my foot on them, keep my foot on the footboard, because to be honest with you, the footboard position for me is really comfortable. Put the visor down. So I was almost starting to debate whether, did I need to have highway pegs, or was I just following the norm? Oh, you gotta have it. Well, I do like having that extra spot to be able to kick back, put my foot up, and I could just rest it like that on the highway peg and footboard, or I could go all the way if I really needed to stretch. Just a little action. So I gotta say, I am impressed with the Bin Lari. The build quality, the units, they felt solid and nice. There's not a lot of, they didn't feel cheap at all. The only complaint I thought at first was maybe like the screw heads were a little soft, but once I started using the right size hex head or I think it's the other kind, to adjust it, it's gravy. And they have been up and down these bars all over, because of course you have the 2 screws that could adjust the height, and then there's just 1 screw on the end. Look at that, how it flaps up nice and easy. 1 screw on the end right there. You use it, you loosen it up, you pull it away from the housing, and it has like little notches grooved in, so you just find the notch that you want. Very nice design. And you know what? For a fraction of the cost of the Harley Davidson ones, I think all in I was a little over 60 bucks. I thought that was pretty good, especially for something that I was contemplating maybe I didn't need. But this is nice to be able to do that. Just that little extra space. I'm sure I'll appreciate it more when the weather gets warm again, just so get my leg away from the motor a little bit more, maybe. I don't know. This M8 does not get as hot as everyone always made it out to be. And I've ridden it some hot weather this year. So that is all I got. 2 thumbs up for Bin Lari. I appreciate the workmanship here. I did buy those, so this is not an advertisement, but this is an endorsement. As you can see, last year they gave me a little handlebar bag to try out, and I still rock that. That is solid. So this is Jerry, MinnowMoto. Thanks for watching. Save some money out there. Have fun. I will put a link to what I bought down in the bottom, and you can do all the clicking, liking, and all that stuff if you do like what I'm doing. Let's try to keep this bike moving right along on a budget. MinnowMoto is out. Stop recording.